What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the World Wrestling Talk podcast, brought to you by Podnation. Of course, I am Chris Walker, and I'm here with the crew, the squad. First off, we have the new co-host of the World Wrestling Talk podcast, the guy who created the World Wrestling Talk group. I'm talking about Mr. Ice Cold, Tristan Baldwin. What's up, man?
If it ain't ice, it ain't cold.
Hey, I hear that. Of course, we're here with our regular resident caveman. I'm talking about the host of Comic Cave podcast, Chris Temez. What's going on, man?
What's going on, sir? Chris Temez here from Comic Cave. Come check us out. We have a new show up. The anime show is doing very well. Go check it out.
All right, and we are joined by a guest, the guy who brought me into enjoying wrestling as a group. I'm talking about my good friend, Jason Esther. How are you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing well. It's good to be here.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of background because this is World Wrestling Talk History 101. It started out, Jason and we met through my sister, right, Jay?
That is correct.
And so we would start watching wrestling. We found out that we were both wrestling fans. I believe we were over there one day and one Monday, and you were like, I gotta go watch Raw. And so we turned the TV on Raw. That was really the beginning of World Wrestling Talk, right?
Yes, it was. That was back in 08. 08?
Yeah. I want to say 08. I was in 8th grade when that happened. And so the way it worked was we would watch wrestling every Monday. We'd watch it together. Then one day Jason comes in and he says, hey, we should go watch wrestling at Brewings or Wings and More at the time.
Wings and More at the time.
We could watch the pay-per-view. And I was like, what? Free pay-per-view. And the rest is history. Ice Cold came into the mix. We started watching wrestling as a group. And you know, from the last episode, that's what started the World Wrestling Talk group, which also led to the podcast. So thank you, Jason and Tristan, for making this happen. So we are going to get right into the World Wrestling Talk podcast for today. Of course, we have to start off with the Power Rankings. These are last week's Power Rankings, so they don't include the Battleground pay-per-view or this week's Raw. Those Power Rankings will be up on WWE.com tomorrow. Of course, the link to the Power Rankings we're going to be talking about will be down below. But let's start off with the Power Rankings at number 5 from that week. He was previously number 6, so he made his way back into the top 5. Roman Reigns. What do you guys think about Roman Reigns right now?
I feel like he's just been left out of the picture. Ever since Rollins had his cash in, Roman's just trying to find his way.
I think so. It's the same way. They did that special on him on WrestleMania 31, I think it was. And they put so much effort and so much like...
Oh, yeah, the 24/7.
Yeah, they put so much into him. Now he's just like... I don't know. He's like Dean Ambrose. Do you think Dean Ambrose and the Lunatic Fringe and Roman Reigns are going to be like the next tag team champs? They're trying to get them together?
That is something I don't want.
It's a possibility because, like you said, he is like trying to find himself.
Yeah.
They need to do something with him because they put so much into him. Now he's just like drifting afloat somewhere.
A jobber.
He's lost in the mix, which happens to a lot of WWE guys, specifically after they face Cena.
Because it's just not good. I mean, God.
I mean, Roman Reigns...
We need to help Kevin Owens. Please don't let him go down that route.
It's too late for that. But Roman Reigns is an interesting talent. He's a powerhouse, and he has that superhero kind of look. He's a boss.
Ooh.
Yeah, when it comes to character, and so we're looking at him that way.
I just don't think he's good on the mic. Do you think so?
Oh, no, he's terrible.
He just needs Paul Heyman. If he had Paul Heyman, he would be a monster. Look at Brock Lesnar. He's terrible on the mic. But he has Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Look at Ryback, who had Paul Heyman. Look at Curtis Axel. Paul Heyman, he may be great, but he's not a miracle worker. So I don't know if Paul would help Roman. I think Lana would help Roman better.
What? Why?
Because Lana's what everyone wants. So if Roman Reigns is that guy who everyone wants to be, then give him something everybody wants.
No way.
I think Lana would help him out.
I say put Roman with Paul Heyman and make Roman heel.
Heel Roman might help.
They just made him a face. Yeah. They just made him into a face.
Well, he's been a face for a while. He initially started off as a heel.
Yeah.
You know, with the Shield. But, hey, you could turn it. It won't hurt him because think about the Big Show. He's a heel face every show. Just but like, the Bella Twins.
But people with the Big Show, he's just kind of there. He's like another slightly jobber. He just comes in and out, and you really don't miss him. But when he shows up at the right time, it's like, yeah. With Roman, he could actually be more. So that's why I think Heyman could help him.
I agree. Paul Heyman, he would go to Paul Heyman.
All you had to do was just have Roman beat the heck out of John Cena backstage, and all the kids would get pissed off, and he'll be.
Yeah, that would.
He would be a face to the adult man, but he'll be a heel to the women and children.
Have him beat up Dean Ambrose.
Ooh, yes.
Have him beat up Dean Ambrose, or the Bull. Have him beat up the Bull. That'll make him a heel. All right, but we're gonna move on to another heel in the top 5. Somebody who's been in the top 5 since the second week of his debut on the main roster. He's at number 4. Before he was at number 3. We're talking about the bad guy, Kevin Owens. What do you guys think about Kevin Owens being at number 4?
He should be at number 2. This guy is just awesome in the ring. When you look at him, like, okay, this guy, he's just selling beers here at the show. What is he doing?
Yeah.
But when you see him actually in that ring, he just put on the best performances you have ever seen.
He's a really good performer.
Very good performer. I'll give him that. He is a great performer. I just don't like the fact that he's been walking out lately.
Well, that's what made him drop in the ranks. His gimmick now is been reduced to leaving. He just, I don't want to do this. He's that kid who loses in the baseball game in the neighborhood.
But that's what makes him Kevin Owens. That what makes him like a heel.
Yeah,
because he's like, I'm too good for this. The hell with you guys, you know.
See, that works for a little guy. That works for a small body framed heel. He's a big guy.
But that's a natural heel. If you look at WWE and look at the old heels, he actually does what a heel is supposed to do. You got guys like Sheamus or whatever, they don't actually do anything.
Oh, you're not
like
entertained.
Yeah,
I keep saying that. I love it.
He's an actual real heel. That's just a heel tendency.
I mean,
just to walk out the match.
You don't like him because he's like, the hell with this. He's doing his job.
Well, no, I think that mindset works with Seth Rollins. I think it works with Randy Orton as a heel. I don't believe it works with Kevin Owens. I think he needs to attack more people. I think he needs to, instead of walking out of the match, get a chair and end the match yourself.
Right.
That would be effective, yeah.
I think that should be Kevin Owens' way to go.
Because it's the way that I guess to me, it's the way how much he talks like he's just, the best ever or one of the best ever. So that's why I feel like him walking out is like, compared to ending it with a chair or something.
Going back to when you said Randy Orton was like a I don't care heel. Seth Rollins is a weasel heel. And Kevin Owens is what you call like a natural, he's a father heel.
He's a CM Punk heel.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
I mean, he's not at CM Punk caliber, but like you believe like CM Punk, what an asshole.
No, CM Punk was real.
That's what I'm saying.
CM Punk told it like it was. Kevin Owens just does what he's told. He does the job. But CM Punk put his heart. I don't feel Kevin Owens' heart.
I do feel it. Whenever, especially when he like powerbombed that dude, the singer.
MGK.
Yeah.
This is what he does. He walks out that ring and it pisses off, whichever wrestler's in the ring. Like, come on, dude. I'm just getting all amped up. And he just walks away and he just destroys all your momentum.
That's what I'm saying,
match. And then he comes back again to
who used to do that?
Or
Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
Shawn Michaels used to do that a lot too.
I'll tell you what I think about Kevin Owens. He's a troll. He's the real life version of what the IWC is. He is the real life version of that. He just wants to say what he has to say, get you all riled up and leave. That's why people like him, because he's what they want to be when it comes to being a troll. And that's just what he is. And unfortunately, I just don't like that. I don't think that character
he is
belongs
the
in
king
wrestling.
of the troll.
Yeah.
Name one wrestler on that roster that is better than Kevin Owens in ring. Name one.
Oh.
See, look how long it took you.
No, because I was thinking, do I dare say Daniel Bryan? We'll get to some interesting. No, come on, I can say Daniel Bryan. We'll get to some interesting things about him later. But I'll give Kevin Owens. He is great in ring, very entertaining.
Yeah,
he makes you want to watch the match, and that's what WWE needs more of. However,
I just think that match between him at Battleground, him and Cena, it was epic.
They're all three of them have been epic.
Good.
The second one was lackluster.
What?
This one, the latest one was really good.
I think if anyone, well, you know what, you're right. But I'm thinking the second one would win Match of the Year over the first one.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They put on some great matches. So
let's move on from number 4. Let's move on to number 3, who was previously at the number 1 spot. So this is a drop for him. The man who, since this ranking, has defeated Kevin Owens. We're talking about the United States champion, John Cena. What do you guys think about Cena being at number 3?
Even though he's at number 3, it feels like he's at number 1 because the U.S. title it's like it's worth more than what it really is. It feels like it's a world title rather than just a United States title.
I can agree with that because he really puts on a show. Anybody during the Open Challenge, they put on one of the best shows on Raw.
I feel like Cesaro was carrying his ass.
Oh, come on. No,
Cesaro was carrying his ass, man.
No. You got to look at it. Cena knows. Yeah, okay. I think it was more even when it comes to the match.
Ugh, no.
Cena calls the shots in the ring. Yeah. Cena calls the shots because he's the guy, not maybe because he's better in ring, but because he's the guy who understands the company.
But that's true. Cena may call the shots, but other people make him look good.
And I think it's vice versa.
Why do you think he came? Why do you think he came after the show and like, Cesaro, you were great. You deserve to be there. You're awesome.
That's who Cena is. That's what he does.
Kevin Owens was fucking carrying him throughout those entire matches.
No. Now, I will admit, he did make that, like I said earlier, that title meaningful. So whoever wins it, that's gonna, mean a lot for that title. Like the Intercontinental title is like nothing now. It's just
who is that right now?
Ryback. He was hurt.
Ryback.
He was hurt. That's why he wasn't there at Battleground.
Give it to Roman Reigns.
I'll tell you one thing about Cena and that title, and I noticed it. I agree with you, Ice. I noticed it on Raw when he and Seth Rollins were in the ring together. It's like I cared more about the U.S. title than I did about the WWE World Heavyweight title. That's
because you're a Cena fan.
No, it's not. It's because I've seen the U.S. title be in great matches. I think WWE, I was opposed to them giving Cena that title.
Yeah.
I thought it was the dumbest move they could make. And as usual, as a critic on the internet, I've been shut up by the WWE's long-term planning. I've been shut up by it because it turns out that it works. I don't think they have long-term planning ability, but I think they know how to make their screw-ups work sometimes. And I think that's what makes the company succeed. That's why John Cena's the man. We're going to move on from John Cena, though, to number 2 on the list. And of course, we can guess who the top 2 are, but number 2 on the list is the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
Wait, so they had the audacity to put Brock Lesnar at number 2 instead of 1.
What happened that made him go? I think he got beat up or something.
Yeah, he got his ass kicked by well, not really get his ass kicked, but
he got jumped.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think when this happened, Brock Lesnar was at number 2. Brock Lesnar, just his name alone puts him in the top 5. If you ask me.
I'm gonna kill you. You're gonna have to.
It's kind of how that goes. What do you guys think about Brock, though? What do y'all think about him right now? We're gonna get into what's happened recently, but Brock and his character, where's he going? What are we doing?
He needs the title again. And I know a lot of people argue me down, like, no, he's not there all the time. But think about it. When he had that title, you're like, okay, who's going to take it from him? Who is going to take this title from Brock Lesnar? Nobody. And when Seth Rollins did it, we're all shocked. But he did it, he didn't even pin Brock Lesnar. I think he pinned
Roman Reigns.
Exactly. So Brock Lesnar hasn't been pinned or submitted in 2 years. Name one time that it has happened in WWE, for the past 2 decades? It hasn't.
Okay, I just want to say you have great points. And going back to, this is going to sum up everything that I said. And I even posted a meme about it on World Wrestling Talk group on Facebook. This Battleground made everyone look stupid. Battleground made everyone look just dumb. Because they made Brock Lesnar look mortal. I mean, he was unstoppable. He was like the big bull. Like, he was not going to be stopped. He was charging and no one can stop him. And here comes this whatever-year-old man that lost to him a year and a half ago, looking for revenge. They made Kevin Owens tap out to Cena's STF. Like, no one taps anymore. And they made Kevin Owens tap. And I'm like, what's the game plan here? You just built up everyone's character. You just shot him down. You made Cena look like Cena because Vince McMahon loves Cena, and you made Brock Lesnar look like a scared puppy. Like, why would you do that? I don't know why would you bring in the Undertaker a year and a half ago already later, and why would you do that?
Well, you gotta think about it too. Taker did say that, okay, you just kept talking about beating me at WrestleMania. Kept going on and on. So that's why he came back to.
They waited too long for that. They waited too long.
Yeah, maybe they waited too long, but I think they did it perfectly. When it comes to why Taker came back, Taker came out, what I just said. You've been talking. I'm okay with getting beat. If I think about this street fight mindset, by the way, for those of you who don't know, I am a thug, but I think about this street fight mindset. If I get in a fight, it's a good fight, I lose, I get get beat up, I'm okay. I respect you. You won.
Yeah.
But if you go around and keep talking, hey, remember that time I beat Chris up? He thought he was a thug.
Yeah, but they stopped doing that earlier this year. Paul Heyman stopped saying the defeating or whatever he says, his shtick that he does with Brock Lesnar. They stopped doing that like in January.
But that's because his focus went somewhere else. But then they brought it. WWE was smart and they brought it back. Here's what I like about the Undertaker news. A lot of people didn't know until maybe a couple days before.
Yeah.
Normally, the internet, we ruin wrestling like Batista's return. We lose that kind of stuff. It was great that they did that, and I think part of why they did it when they were attacking Kane, they brought it up. You know, they kept bringing it up, and they started bringing it up again, and it's just street fight logic. You keep talking, I'm coming back for you.
That made Battleground, I would say, an A show rather than a B show.
No way.
Because, well, think about it. That was a shock factor. I was standing up for a good, 5 minutes just in shock that Taker was there. And we don't get, that many chances of having Taker, at Raw or, even at Battleground.
And that's a good thing.
Right. That is good. No.
That is a good thing.
He's old. You got to remember the man's
That's what I'm
old.
saying. Okay, well,
he hasn't been in a pay-per-view, I think, in 2 years aside from WrestleMania.
Right.
In 2 years.
To continue it on, I was so depressed when he showed up because the way they made him look was like, holy shit. Like, he came off fat and hairy and he was tan. He was out of breath. He couldn't keep his posture.
I want to mention this, though. I didn't watch the pay-per-view until Monday morning.
Yeah.
And Chris Tamez called me.
I'm sorry.
At 2 in the morning. We talked at about 2 in the morning.
You were still up.
Yeah, I was still up. And we were talking about the show, and he was just telling me exactly what you just heard. How Undertaker was hairy and
yeah,
old.
He's all hairy and just...
So by the time I got to watch the show on Monday, I'm thinking, this is going to look bad. And I see the Undertaker, and I'm like, he doesn't even look that bad.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm okay. Once again...
This is coming from a CM Punk fan, people.
I'm a CM Punk fan. But best in the world. But no, yeah, Sunday night was like, he was all... I don't know. Everything can happen in a couple of hours.
No,
but
I'm saying when I watched the show.
Monday Night Raw, I was just like Tristan. I was standing. I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. This is awesome. Like, whenever they did the whole thing, I'm like, I haven't seen this in a long time. I was actually amped up to see Lesnar and Undertaker fight. I'm like, hell yeah. But when they beat Undertaker, I'm like, what the fuck? He's all fat and just...
No, he didn't.
See,
look
this
that bad.
opens up the storyline.
He did
because
to me, he looked kind of bad.
Yeah.
I was like,
he couldn't keep his posture. Like, whenever he did the tombstone, he was like all wiggling. Like,
he's an old man.
I get that. I understand that.
He's 50 years old.
But even Hulk Hogan is like, what, 60-something?
Hogan has no life.
Well...
And he's not married to Michelle McCool.
Hogan is full of screws and stuff, so that's why
he's bionic.
All right, but see, we left Brock Lesnar because really you can't talk Brock Lesnar without the Undertaker. But let's go on and finish up the top 5 by going to the number 1 spot. Of course, it belongs to the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins.
Really? He's number 1?
If Lesnar was number 2, then Rollins had to be number 1.
I thought the Undertaker would be number 1.
Well, no, this is before Battleground.
Oh.
I predict that in this week's rankings, Undertaker is going to be number 4. So you can look at those rankings on Friday the 24th. You'll see those rankings. But at this point, I think Undertaker will be number 4. He'll debut in the top 5. But right now, Seth Rollins was number 1. He is the champion. The champion should always be number 1.
Oh, quick question. Since we're talking about Seth Rollins, there's a new channel that I found that I don't know about you. I don't know if you guys know about it. It's called Up, Up, Down, Down. It's Xavier Woods' gaming channel. And he's had not a lot, but he's had wrestlers from the back. Like, he's had Rusev on there. He's had Kofi Kingston. He's had just a bunch of... He's even had Seth Rollins on there.
Younger wrestlers.
Yeah, he's had Seth Rollins on there. They're playing... The last episode they played was Turtles in Time. It's actually a pretty good channel. It's Xavier Woods' channel. Well, his name's not Xavier Woods, but it's called Up, Up, Down, Down. It's pretty entertaining.
You know, when you talk about wrestlers and gamers, you know they hold the annual SmackDown... Oh, it used to be SmackDown vs. Raw. They play the wrestling game.
Oh, yeah, during Access.
You know who won? Or you know who proved himself as the best at that game?
One of the Usos.
No, AJ Lee.
For real?
AJ Lee beat... Wow. I remember one year she beat Mark Henry in the finals.
What?
Yeah, AJ Lee...
Bring it on, AJ. You cannot beat me.
And see, who's married to AJ Lee? CM Punk.
Okay, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to point something out. You'll see a picture. Jason brought in his WWE title belt. It's the old belt that CM Punk was the last to hold before The Rock changed it. Chris will not let go of the belt.
It's CM Punk's belt, man. I'm sorry.
He will not let go of it. So Chris is obsessed with CM Punk, obviously. But we're going to take a quick break. We're going to hear some things going on with Podnation, and then we're going to hear the Slam of the Week with MJ Dub. When we come back, we're going to go right into news and rumors and then recaps for this week, or for this week in wrestling. So stay tuned to the World Wrestling Talk podcast, brought to you by Podnation.
What up, everyone? This is Andy from Game Grok. If you guys are into comics, movies, and other nerdy pursuits, at the Podnation label, we have a show called Comic Cave with my good friends Chris and Russ. Check it out for your fill of comics and comic-related news. Links can be found down below.
What's up, guys? It's Cody from Missions with Quentin here to tell you about a new show from Podnation called Game Grok, where they talk about games, game strategies, and industry gossip. Go check them out at Podnation now.
Hey everyone, this is Chris from Comic Cave here with my hetero life mate.
Russ, what's going on, bro?
We're here to inform you that there's a new show from the Podnation label called Emissions featuring Cody and Quentin. Russ, tell us what that show is about.
Emissions is an automotive show, so if you have any questions about the automotive world in general, they will literally be talking about everything, anything that you would possibly need to know.
Go check out that show Emissions here on the Podnation label now.
What's going on, guys? This is MJ Dub with the Slam of the Week. My Slam of the Week this week goes to the Viper Randy Orton and the King of Swing Cesaro for the Slingshot RKO onto Rusev. If you missed this week's Raw, then you perhaps missed out, in my opinion, on the best tag team combo maneuver this year. Also, honorable mention this week goes to Charlotte for a figure eight on Brie Bella at Battleground and at this week's Raw. Charlotte pays homage to her father, Ric Flair's figure four, because her version, the figure eight, which has to be one of the most painful looking submission moves in my opinion in wrestling today. She calls it the figure eight because it's better than her daddy's. This is MJ Dub with the Slam of the Week. Now back to you, Chris.
What's up, and welcome back to this week's edition of the World Wrestling Talk podcast. I am Chris Walker, here with the crew, of course, Ice.
If it ain't ice, it ain't cold.
Chris Temez.
Yo, yo.
And Jason Esther. What's going on?
Here I am.
All right, so we're going to go into some news and rumors. First off, let's start off with this. Baron Corbin. Is that his name? Baron Corbin?
Corbin Dallas.
Corbin Dallas. No. Baron Corbin is set to, or it looks like he might be joining the Wyatt family. I know with Eric Rowan being out.
Yeah.
And Baron Corbin's been having some dominant, last night on NXT, his match was about 10 seconds. It was quick. It was just, and he fought that guy who looked like Captain Ginyu of the Ginyu Force. And the guy just he Irish whips the guy and then catches him in the end of days. That's it. So what do you guys think about Baron Corbin joining the Wyatt family?
I think that would be a nice addition, especially since Eric Rowan is out. That'll be pretty good to have, a fresh face to be added. So they're going to be a pretty good powerhouse. But I think WWE should, make it kind of like the Ministry. Because, Wyatt has that feel. Bray Wyatt has that feel. Yep. And to give him that dark mystique, image that the Undertaker had back in the day, I think that'll really bring some ratings in.
I said it before and I'll say it again. He is this decade's or this new Undertaker. Not Undertaker 100%, but the whole brood, darkness, follow the buzzards and all that stuff like that. It's Undertaker.
And like you said, the buzzards. They need to do something with Sting and Bray Wyatt with that whole follow the buzzards.
Sting Undertaker.
Yeah, that too.
Or Raven. Have Raven come back. Remember Raven?
No, let Sting beat Bray Wyatt. Let Sting beat Bray Wyatt the way Undertaker beat Bray Wyatt. Everybody beats Bray Wyatt.
No.
Okay.
John Cena fan again.
Hey, what happened to Eric again?
Eric, he was injured. I forgot what type of injury he suffered, but he'll be out for about 5 to 6 months. But honestly, who missed Eric Rowan?
Oh yeah, he was
in ring and talking ability. He's just another person that's there, just like Sheamus.
But he sold the merchandise for the Wyatt family.
So what? The sheep mask?
Yes, that was the merch for the Wyatt family.
They did buy a lot of masks. I did see like a lot of masks.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna buy a Bray Wyatt shirt. Bray Wyatt doesn't need to be wearing a shirt.
They only bought the mask. Okay, just keep Eric Rowan. I guess as a manager that doesn't speak, that just walks with Bray to the ring.
What happened to their separate? The Wyatt family separated. What happened to them?
They were going nowhere.
I thought they were pretty good.
WWE dropped the ball. They should have kept the Wyatt family versus the Shield. That story should have went on for months.
Yes.
WWE always breaks up groups. Like DX, when they first started with the Attitude Era, they only lasted about a year or two. They broke them up. They get back together.
Same thing with the Shield, a year.
Exactly. So WWE has this history of just breaking up factions. I think the only faction that lasted a long time was Nation of Domination.
The Hart Foundation lasted pretty good.
Spirit Squad, guys. Spirit Squad.
That lasted like a year. But I think the Hart Foundation that lasted a while.
Yeah. I believe so.
Then DX died, then they came back, so many years after?
Let me explain why factions will not last long in WWE. Because if you're going to have a dominant faction, every face needs a heel, every heel needs a face. Rock needs Austin. Hogan needs Macho Man. You have to have someone to oppose them. If you look at a group like the Nexus specifically, there was no one to oppose the Nexus. You would just unite random superstars occasionally, but you get no one there to really fight them constantly. And so the problem with having a dominant faction like the Shield was there was no one there. We were lucky Batista came back. With Batista coming back, that brought back Evolution.
I had to disagree with you because look at, what's the faction now? The Wyatt family. They were heels and they broke them up and they were still heels. Yeah, Eric Rowan went to be a babyface, but it was unnecessary.
Right, but who was there? Who was there for the Wyatt family? Once they broke up the Shield, who was there for the Wyatt family to fight?
I agree with
Everybody else on the roster.
Look what happened to NWO.
They just destroyed them.
The NWO faction, that everyone was like, well, shit, if I can't win WCW, I'll just join NWO.
But there was just 3 guys. You have a whole Fleetwood of wrestlers, and you just got 3 guys that's just dominated. So
NXT
you telling
was
me
like that
nobody
too.
could dominate them?
Well, there was
like 7 or 8 people in NXT whenever that whole big thing happened.
Yeah, Nexus. Yeah.
Right.
In fact,
they dropped the ball with that. The Wade Barrett. And
that
I
was
feel
perfect.
yes, but they dropped the ball. They should have kept that going. Then CM Punk, when he took over, they should have kept it going with CM Punk.
The problem with WWE, if they let things keep going so much, they become John Cena.
That is true, yeah.
You can at least keep it going for like 2 years. Even tag teams don't even last that long anymore. Back in the day, you had not Nation Domination.
The LOD, Legion of Doom.
Yeah, Legion of Doom. Yes, they lasted for a long time.
But see, that's the thing. Everyone, I feel like it's true what you said. I feel like the Usos are going to be one of those tag teams that last for a long time because they're brothers.
Right.
They're going to last for a long time.
Well, you gotta look at it too. The Hardy Boys.
Yeah, but they look different.
They broke up and they went, single.
But they lasted for like a good 10 years together.
But all right, right now that one of the Usos is out, what are they doing with the brother that is healthy? They didn't do anything. They could at least gave him a little singles run or whatever, and then team him back with his brother.
Which brother said he wanted it? Because I remember when they came to Houston, they were on a radio station. One of the brothers said he actually wouldn't mind pursuing a singles career. Is that the one that got hurt or the one that's not hurt?
I think the one that is married to Trinity. Naomi.
Yeah,
I think that one.
Okay, well he's the one that's here now,
Jimmy or Jay, I forgot.
Nobody knows the difference. I'm sure Rikishi gets them confused.
Yeah.
But I want to point out something, Ice. You said how they should put the one on a singles run, but you're also talking about how tag teams need to stay together. If you put the one who's there on a singles run, then that'll kind of hurt the tag team. What's the best way to introduce the other brother? Oh, you went on you get the Bella Twins.
That was exactly what I was gonna say.
You get that stupid Bella Twins angle.
Yeah.
That was stupid because they couldn't act.
True.
That is very much true. Yeah.
While he's out hurt, he can just go on the singles run. And then when he's about to be reintroduced, all he can do is just have somebody trying to beat him up. And then his brother comes out and saves him. Bam, back into tag
also,
team
the Owen and Brett did that same thing too.
Right.
Brett, like, you know what? I left the Hart Foundation. I wanted to do singles. I became the champion. And no one's like, we're a team. We're brothers. What happened to that? And that's what happened, I think, at a SummerSlam, I think, or Survivor Series, where brother against brother, and the parents had to choose. That was very old. I don't think Chris remembers that.
I just feel like,
of course not.
I just feel like WWE forgets a lot of things that they do. Like,
don't forget
the authority. Okay, corporation.
I blame this on Kevin Dunn. Screw you, Kevin Dunn.
Oh, no. We're not going into Kevin Dunn.
I'm just saying, screw Kevin Dunn.
I think ultimately Vince is in control of this.
He is, that is true, but Kevin Dunn you cannot tell me that Kevin Dunn does not have his ear.
Oh, of course. He's the right-hand man. But let's move on to some other wrestling news. NXT Brooklyn. All right, so I was watching NXT last night, and anytime they said the word Brooklyn, they got heat.
What Brooklyn?
And I guess that's because the NXT fans are like, wait a minute, no, NXT is our baby. Why are they going somewhere else? But Chris, you're spinning the belt.
I'm sorry.
I just want to. Chris is sitting here spinning the belt.
I'm sorry.
But NXT Brooklyn, the fans at Full Sail University hate it because NXT is theirs. They don't want to share it.
NXT, I haven't been watching NXT too much. I'm just waiting for Samoa Joe to come up to the main roster.
Oh my gosh.
That's all I give a shit about.
NXT, I was watching it last night, and here comes Samoa Joe with his new hip hop theme music.
For real?
Yes.
They love hip hop. WWE loves hip hop. It's just Yes.
That's crazy because like they were all about Rock and the ruthless attitude or ruthless aggression era.
Yeah, putting lyrics on
but
Stone
look
Cold
at
and
Stephanie
Kane's music.
McMahon.
Yes, I remember that.
Every single that was awful. That was terrible. I hated that. Just like the Booker T what's up? No, not what's up.
Can you dig it?
Sucker. Yeah, can you dig it? But yeah, Stephanie McMahon, every theme song that she's had was hip hop related.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they always have some black dude performing hip hop.
Once again, can we just please sign a petition, World Wrestling Talk? Let's make a petition. Let's get Shane O'Mac back over here.
Shane is not coming back because he has this company,
Let's
something in
sabotage
China.
it.
You something in China is about some
You on demand.
Yeah, you on demand.
It's basically their version of Netflix.
Shane has a full head of gray hair. He's not coming back.
Shane O'Mac needs to come back.
Speaking of Netflix, I like that you just mentioned that. I hate how they're marketing the network. WWE Network. It's like Hulu and Netflix. What is that?
It kind of is.
It actually is. It's actually better than Hulu and Netflix because they have live feeds. Now, if they can get that lag off of the consoles, that'll be great. But, they have that live feeling. Netflix doesn't do that. Hulu really doesn't do that. Look at all the content that you have on the network. It's more than just $9.99 a month.
It's
$9.99.
It's worth a lot more. That's why I'm afraid they're going to jack the prices up. I pay too much for subscriptions to things already. I don't want the network.
No, WWE Network is worth $9.99. I don't think it should be more than that.
It's been the plan the whole time. From the beginning, it's just like, yeah, they're going to jack that $9.99.
They're going to lose.
Look at the content that you have available. The Paul Heyman documentary, the CM Punk documentary.
I have that documentary, so I don't give it.
But you can watch it on your phone, laptops, or wherever else.
Well, yeah, they lost all their DVD sales.
Oh, yeah, and Chris Walker. I'm still waiting for my CM Punk birthday present. I'm just saying that right now.
Moving on. So, but back to these NXT Brooklyn sales. Ice, you were telling me earlier that they
Yes,
there's
the
seating.
Yes, it's gonna be a sellout because it was a 6,000 seat seating, and they had to upgrade to 11,000 seats. And I believe the arena can hold 13,000, but with the whole stage set and everything, so that's gonna take away a few seats. So NXT is getting pretty big. That's why they're on the road right now.
Well, yeah, the following for NXT is great, but I watched NXT. I think we ignore the bad of it. I think we have that mindset. NXT is new, so it can do no wrong. Like,
okay,
that's what everybody thinks. I was watching NXT last night, and I'm like, this is boring.
XFL.
This is SmackDown.
Hey, the XFL was good. It was just timing.
Yeah,
timing. That's all it was. If Vince brought back the XFL right now, he'll have some high ratings because the NFL took a lot of the ideas from the XFL, like the camera that's like up in the air or whatever. Like
yeah.
XFL had that.
Okay, here's a question for you guys. Everyone on World Wrestling Talks keeps saying they should split up the brands. Now they can't really do that no more because they pretty much unified the titles. So they're saying NXT versus SmackDown and Raw. Do you think it'll work?
NXT wouldn't compete.
I feel like, all right, start off NXT with the 1 hour time slot on like USA Network, but split up Raw, SmackDown, let Paul Heyman be head of creative writing again.
That's why you trying to get away from that.
Well, you had stars like Edge who never had a chance on Raw to become a world champion.
He was WWE champion
after.
Yes, once
after Paul Heyman got a hold of him. Yeah,
okay. Edge never had that chance with Raw, and so Raw has so many stars right now. If you do that brand split, some stars that you like Tyson Kidd when he comes back after injury, he will have a chance on SmackDown.
Wait a minute.
Cesaro, he will have a chance to be in the main event on SmackDown.
I'm still stuck on this Edge thing because what was up with the live sex celebration then? What was he celebrating?
That was after he got drafted back to Raw.
Okay,
he was on SmackDown, he became a champion, then he got moved to Raw.
Okay, because my recall is Edge was a top guy on Raw, having a huge rivalry with John Cena.
That was way after.
Yeah, way after.
I didn't know him before that, and I was watching wrestling before that.
It was after SmackDown lost the fist, I believe.
Well, SmackDown, we were talking about this on the way here. SmackDown's really just gone down.
Right now.
Yeah, it's a Raw recap.
Right now, but they're moving back. They're going to move to the USA Network in, I believe, in January. And that's when they'll have a more focus on SmackDown. So the storylines will start off on Raw, then they'll kind of transition to SmackDown.
Because they have enough stars to split it in half.
Oh yeah, no
They
doubt.
don't have enough writers to, though. Look at how, when they moved Raw to 3 hours, the writers got stretched. And that's why we started getting stupid programs and filler matches that don't make sense. And that's when I feel like the writers just kind of went off.
You have a worldwide company. It's very easy for them just to throw out a, application for some new writers.
But remember, it all goes to Vince. Vince is running this company with an iron claw.
But who's running NXT?
Triple H, and that's why
exactly. So all you had to do is just get Triple H, Paul Heyman, or somebody to run SmackDown.
NXT has no entertainment value to the everyday fan.
What are you talking about? Yes, it does.
No. Watch this.
NXT focuses on the wrestling.
Right. That's why guys, be quiet. That's why the everyday fan will not be able to enjoy NXT. I mean, we enjoy it because we like wrestling.
Well, okay, who do you think watches wrestling?
The people who are those. For one, you have the moms and the women who are attracted to John Cena.
Yeah.
That's why Raw, SmackDown's for them. But for guys like us who can't stand, Cena being a babyface,
I don't agree with
that. We go to NXT.
No, I firmly believe that we are a much smaller fan base than the typical wrestling fan.
No,
that's why they all refer to us as the what is it, the loud minority or
who's far as the Cena sucks.
That's us. That is the fan.
The moms and the kids just sell the merchandise.
The women's and the kids.
I actually say let's go Cena.
Oh.
Yeah, Jason's the one who got me saying let's go Cena.
I'm gonna say CM Punk. CM Punk.
Speaking of which, who was having a match? It was a diva. It was Eva Marie during her match on NXT.
Debut on
I thought it was good. I don't know what Zach Zimmerman is talking about. I thought it was good.
First of all, nobody can say. Well, nobody, but the Bella Twins. All right. If you follow, Total Divas, I didn't get the chance to watch this last week episode.
I watched it.
But they talk so much trash about her, like, oh, she just went to spotlight, whatever. Okay, first of all, they don't have a wrestling background. They got to the top because of Cena and because of Daniel Bryan. They sucked for years, and they still suck at their acting.
They still do.
That storyline with Daniel Bryan, Brie, and Kane, she was terrible with her acting. That could have been like an amazing storyline, but she failed.
No, the thing that pisses me off about Total Divas is the Bella Twins, especially Nikki, that's a champion. Especially like, oh, you don't give a damn about wrestling and blah, blah, blah. The only reason why you stayed, Nikki, was because your husband, you have
boyfriend, they're not married.
Or whatever. WWE gave her more money, and it's like, you know what? If you stay, we'll give you more money, and we'll give you the title.
When they left
because AJ Lee was leaving.
When they left a while ago, what did they do? A lot of these divas, name one diva recently that has left WWE and continued to wrestle. Not joining, TNA, that, wrestled in the Independence or whatever and then came back.
Would you call that?
And came back, and came back.
Yeah, but look at the rest. Tori Wilson, what's her name? Kelly. They don't wrestle. They were just models.
Yep.
They didn't care about the
business. Because that was the philosophy. Really, okay, I look back.
I'm gonna say Paige is the one she's gonna keep wrestling.
And see, Paige, look at Paige. She wants, this is my house. You just got brought into WWE main roster,
but she's been doing the indies for a while.
Yeah, yes, she has.
And she's young.
But you can't just say, I'm hating on Eva Marie. Like Alicia Fox. Okay, she's, pretty good. She's gotten a lot better in the ring. But she was a model.
Yeah.
She started
that's all that Trish Stratus was a model. Stacy Keibler.
But the Bella Twins are the main ones that can't say anything. Just give Eva Marie time.
No,
at least he's trying.
I'll tell you why. It's kind of like that bully mindset in a football locker room. That's what they're going for on NXT. You got to tell the rookie, hey, you're going to be here. You're going to be here. Because at some point, the Bella Twins decided that wrestling is what they want to do. I don't believe Eva, and this is reflection of real life. Eva Marie is not there to wrestle. Eva Marie is there they brought her in for Total Divas. They brought her and JoJo in for Total Divas. JoJo didn't last.
But whatever happened to JoJo?
She was too young. She had no in-ring.
NXT.
So actually, she's not even the ring announcer for NXT. No, they have a guy doing it now who sounds terrible. By the way,
she's back. She's doing backstage segments, but she has announced on Raw.
She has, and she sings the national anthem.
Like I said, with the Bella Twins, they left not too long ago, and they found out, hey, we're not doing anything. We can't make money like we used to, so we're going back to this company.
I don't think it's that. I believe in the Bella Twins because I think they have a passion for the company now.
They suck.
Hell no, they don't have no passion, dude.
I think they
stayed for money and title shots.
Suck.
Why do you want the title?
They suck.
What do you mean? Why do I want?
Why do you want the title?
What do you mean?
Because you're in the spotlight and you get perks
Money.
with the title. You get, TV show appearances, all this type of things with that title. You can say, oh, I'm the Divas champion for the company that's represented worldwide.
Wait a minute. Wait 1 minute. You guys are saying all this. Chris, I'm going to call you out, Mr.
Let's do this.
Mr. Still spinning the belt
Let's
over
go.
there. You are saying this, but your favorite wrestler and favorite superstar, CM Punk.
He's not a superstar. He's a wrestler.
He was actually a wrestler. CM Punk started off in
He
the
was like
Independence,
a kid.
and he went to Raw. He was brought up. He went to Raw, and now he wants to pursue something else because WWE burned him out of it.
Exactly.
Just like Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar.
But did CM Punk? Yeah. Okay. So in 2011, no, was it? Yeah, 2011. He wanted to leave the company because he was fed up. Now he came back for some perks, like Triple H said. You only came back for some money and some perks. That's true, but I believe CM Punk came back because he did want to make a difference in the locker room.
He
wanted,
did.
yeah.
Look what WWE's doing now. They're hiring more independent indie stars.
Everything that he talked about, they're doing.
Kevin Owens.
Guys. What I'm saying here is, if you're gonna look at it that way, most of these guys are in the company for one reason, and it may not.
That's true. Money. That is true. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but a lot of wrestlers come to WWE because if they leave, hey, I was at WWE, so now you have to pay up.
Plus, where the hell are you
Also,
gonna go?
Lucha Underground can give me $500.
Look at Rey Mysterio.
He killed
Look
a
how
man.
much money.
No, he didn't.
They had to pay him. Alberto Del Rio, he calls himself El Patron now.
El Patron.
Yeah. You have to pay them a lot because they've been on TV week after week after week. That's what the Bella Twins. They leave there, they're in the spotlight.
So why are we mad at the Bellas for doing what everybody's doing?
We're mad at the Bellas because they think they're in it for the fucking wrestling, and they're not.
Do they really think that, or does
they garbage?
Did you watch
in
Total
the ring.
Divas?
Total Divas is fake?
It's a script. I agree. It's a scripted show, but no one can
All
be that
reality shows
stupid.
are pretty much scripted.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but what I'm saying
It's
is Total
partially
Divas is,
scripted.
you guys are talking about Total Divas and hating the Bella Twins like it's not kayfabe.
Because they suck.
It's like me actually hating Kevin Owens because I don't like what he says.
But I mean,
If Paige was talking shit, I would agree with Paige because Paige is a good wrestler. Bella Twins, that shit, it's.
And then you have Alicia Fox. I mean, okay, she's fine. Okay,
And what
I
happened to
bet she's
pushing
fine, but
Trinity?
they failed at pushing Naomi.
So?
They failed at pushing Alicia Fox. When Alicia Fox had that little fire when she was, attacking.
Crazy.
and stuff like
Everybody,
that.
I thought she
Best
was gonna do something.
entertainment. That was good.
Yeah.
That was great.
But they stopped. They dropped the ball. You got Naomi. She was doing good. Dropped
Beautiful.
The ball.
Hot.
Where is Cameron? She's lost.
Cameron,
in the
who's
picture.
Cameron?
I mean, she sucked at
Exactly.
wrestling. She-
the
other Funkadactyl.
Funk, yeah.
Oh no, she went back to NXT, didn't she?
She's not there now.
Oh,
I believe
so
so.
she's
And I find it funny,
Once in a while on the Raw.
I thought she went back to developmental.
She was on the Total Divas last night.
Yeah, that's what
At
I'm
least
saying.
she's there. At least she's there from Tough Enough.
She was there on Total Divas last night talking shit about AJ Lee, bastard.
Everybody needs to talk mess about AJ Lee.
No, she's beautiful.
AJ Lee's a quitter like her husband.
She's not a
And
quitter.
they're gonna have little quitter children. Speaking of wrestling children, if you saw Total Divas, the thought of Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan having a little
goat faced kid.
goat face, that'd be so adorable. That kid comes into wrestling and just forget Randy Orton. This kid comes in like, no, I'm gonna show you. But speaking of Daniel
And
Bryan,
then let's continue that. Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella, Brie Bella have a kid. CM Punk and AJ Lee have a kid, and we get to see the match we all want to see, which is the Bryans versus the Punks. I'm just saying.
okay, Chris.
Because we always wanted to see Daniel Bryan versus the Punks at WrestleMania, but that never happened because people are jerks in WWE.
But genetically,
Okay, well,
Punk
let
would
me
win.
ask you this. All right, who is Brie Bella married to?
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan.
Exactly. So why does she still suck in the ring and she wants to talk about Eva Marie when you have?
Does she wrestle? Brie Bella? I haven't seen her
Yeah,
wrestle.
she had a
does.
look. Okay,
Exactly. You don't remember seeing her wrestle.
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember seeing her.
the belt.
Garbage.
Battleground.
When it comes to it, guys,
Triple threat.
Eva Marie just sucks.
No,
you
you
got
gotta give her a chance, give her an opportunity, just like you gave the Bella Twins.
right. But the Bellas,
The Bella Twins, they have the top wrestlers and they still suck.
listen,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Talent is not sexually transmitted.
that is
but
true.
they can at least get trained.
But
You got
listen-
John Cena, you could get trained. He brought her up, but she still sucks. Brie Bella, she has Daniel Bryan. She's with him 24/7,
That is
but
true.
she still sucks.
He's got a great point. Go ahead, finish your quote.
The Bellas, when coming in, work brought into the company as wrestlers or valets.
By John Laurinaitis.
Right.
People power.
Yeah, he brought a lot of people in. He was the talent relations?
Yeah.
So you bring them in to wrestle. They came to the company knowing they would be wrestling. WWE brought Eva Marie in specifically for Total Divas. So the argument is still valid because of the reasons they came in. Now, yeah, they could be driven by the desire to get fame, get money. That's what they all are. Cena didn't want to wrestle. His heart was
What
football.
I'm saying is, though,
No, bodybuilding.
the Bella twins, they have no room to talk, is what I'm saying.
Well, I say they can. One, they've done their time. They have done their time
But
in
they
the company.
still suck.
Yeah.
People suck over
Okay,
time.
you just said they've done their time. Eva Marie just got there, so give her time.
Yes, but in the NFL,
Exactly.
I remember a long time, and I'm gonna go into another sport real quick.
John Cena
A couple of seasons ago, when Des Bryant came into the Cowboys locker room as a rookie, he didn't want to get what's the word for when the veterans hazed? He didn't want to be hazed by the veterans. And it's like, shut up, rookie, you're going to get hazed. So look at all these guys. When The Miz came in, remember that angle with Hardcore Holly? Hardcore Holly's like, come on, kid.
Miz
You're
still
going way back.
sucks.
Yeah, I'm going way back. And I'm going way back as evidence to say the older people in the locker room are going to do this to the younger
Yeah,
people.
it's
They
hazing.
could go ahead and do that, but I'm saying is the Bella twins can't.
Because why would you? What have you done? They barely got a title. One of them barely got a title shot now, and they've been in for like what?
They gave
3 years?
Brie Bella and Nikki Bella the biggest opportunity, period, with a storyline, and they failed because their wrestling is terrible and the acting. I don't even want to get on to Brie Bella's act. It was terrible. That time when Kane put Daniel Bryan on the fourth
I
lift
know
or
what
something
you're
like
talking
that,
about.
where she was in the car. Do you know how horrible that was? Like, as a wrestling fan, I was praying that nobody who didn't watch wrestling saw that.
What I'm saying is the point is the reason they were brought in. They came into the company knowing they would wrestle. Eve Marie came into the company for a reality show. That's where the room is. To
Did
talk
she
about.
really?
Yeah, that's why they brought her and JoJo. I said that earlier. They brought them in for man. We've spent a lot of time talking about these divas.
They're very. You can talk about them all day.
Well, you know, the divas are up and coming now.
So they
Especially
don't
the
watch
ones they're
Total
bringing
Divas,
in.
so
Yeah,
you
they
can
brought up the Power
jump in
They had
and understand
two-
where I'm coming
They
from.
had 2 divas matches on Raw. They were good.
They were divas.
Exactly,
They were
because NXT divas brought
Right,
up.
so and that's something I wanted to talk about when I was talking about how I predicted earlier in the podcast. NXT's about to go downhill. They just brought up their whole divas division.
That is true.
NXT doesn't have Kevin Owens in it. They're going to
They
have him
also
up
signed. a
They
lot
got
of people.
Samoa Joe and Finn Balor.
Okay, Samoa Joe is not entertaining.
And who's that Asian guy? The Asian guy.
You heard it from a
Hideo
John
Itami.
Cena fan.
Yeah.
No, I'm a John Cena fan, but Samoa Joe's not entertaining. He's just a big old guy.
At least when he does his moves, you can actually believe into it. Unlike John Cena when he does his little "you can't see me" and misses the dude's whole body, and then
He's not
people
gonna bring
repost
his
that on
fist down on his
Facebook
face.
and say, "Why are you watching this wrestling when he didn't even hit the person's body?"
There's a reason Samoa Joe barely got into WWE, and I'll tell you, it's because he's not entertaining. He's a good wrestler. You guys know. I
Not
believe that.
entertaining.
Yeah, he's a
Have
good.
you seen some of the Ring of Honor stuff?
Yes, I have. I actually have. I've looked into Samoa Joe.
He's seen the trailers. He hasn't seen.
No, I've watched the matches. He's entertaining and he's cool and all. I mean, in that sense, when it comes to in-ring. But again, I bring up the point, we are not the majority. And so when it comes to selling and entertainment value, Samoa Joe, the best he can get in WWE is to stay in NXT.
But you still have, what's his name? Uwa Nation. And then like 10 other wrestlers that they just signed. So NXT will still be going. And then also they bring in, old veterans like Rhino and stuff like that.
Do you think NXT is becoming, or WWE in general, plus NXT, do you think is becoming oversaturated with wrestlers? Too much talent?
That could be a point. If everybody's super talented, then nobody stands out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good point, Chris.
You need a lot of talent though too, because injuries can occur.
That's
so when
true.
a person gets injured, you have somebody else to bring up.
Daniel Bryan.
Indie wrestlers now are
Sad
more
part
likely to get
is,
injured.
when you bring up NXT wrestlers, somebody on the main roster is going to be overshadowed. Because look at, Jack Swagger. Who else?
He's been missing for
What's
a
this
while.
guy named
He
from
was
New
in that
York?
brawl.
I know.
Long Island,
Zack
IZ.
Ryder.
Zack Ryder.
Yeah, Zack
Woo, woo,
Ryder.
woo.
Look how these wrestlers get lost into the picture. And
Well, they always got WWE was that Saturday Nights or Superstars? Yeah, but
People still watch that?
yeah.
I haven't watched Superstars.
I saw it on
It's on the
Hulu.
network.
I saw it on
That's why
Hulu
they
this
do
morning.
the brand split. They give these, superstars.
Okay, so would they make a Raw belt and a SmackDown belt again?
No, just have the champion compete on both shows.
I was telling you this earlier. They can't afford that with guys like Lesnar, Cena, the guys who are at the top. You can get it with Seth Rollins. You may be able to get it with Randy Orton. Not even. Randy doesn't want to do SmackDown anymore.
Okay, so if WWE came to you and said, fire 20 WWE superstars, who would you pick? I mean 2010.
Ooh, that's a good question. You know what? Let's leave that to the listeners.
Okay.
Comment the answer to that question or join the World Wrestling Talk group. Of course, the link is going to be below. But
Our page on Facebook.
yeah, I want to know. We want to know if you had to fire 10 superstars on the main roster or NXT. Are we doing the main roster?
No,
and
the
NXT?
main roster, NXT. Why would you fire? They just came there.
Dude, I'd get rid of all of them. I'm just playing.
Get rid of Sheamus.
But I would get rid of Sheamus, but
I would get rid of Kane, Big Show. Hornswoggle still there?
yeah, somewhere.
I would get rid of. Yeah.
I'd keep Kane. He's entertaining, but yeah, I'd get rid of Big.
Speaking of Swerve, that's a pretty good show.
Yeah, I like Swerve.
Yeah.
I like Swerve on the network. But we're gonna move on to the recap. Of course, okay, go on to the page. Let us know who you'd get rid of on the main roster. 10 superstars. Okay, but we're gonna go on into a quick recap of events because we've almost spent our time. But we're gonna go into a quick recap of events from this week. We're gonna focus on Raw. Well, Battleground, Cena versus Owens. Cena made Owens tap out. Chris, you hate that, don't you?
Yeah, that was dumb. You said it yourself. How long has it been since someone tapped out of WWE and Kevin Owens is the one to tap out?
Well, they actually-
because of Kevin Dunn. Screw Kevin Dunn.
Well, they can actually bring back to getting tapped out, but it wasn't just him getting tapped out. It was a long match, and I believe Cena performed with the AA on him, and
Like
then he
3 or
tapped
4
out
times, yeah.
or something like that. So he was already tired, but this adds, fuel to the storyline.
Yeah, I'll tell
That
you what.
storyline's over.
Yeah, it should be, but I'll tell you why I think a tap out was great for Kevin Owens because it gives him more heel juice. He comes back the next week, and we know he gave up, they didn't capitalize on it on Raw. But when it initially happened, I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna come back. I didn't tap out because the way he tapped out was different. He didn't
Yeah,
do the
he was
normal.
like just right there.
Right, so I figured they would have used that, but of course they dropped the ball with that. So at first it seemed like a good decision to let Kevin Owens tap in the match. But I told you, Chris, though, I told you here on the podcast that because we all know Kevin Owens was going to win after he dropped the NXT title, we all said, oh, well, he's getting the US title. And I told you, Vince doesn't like being predictable.
Yeah,
I think we ruined that for ourselves. By thinking we know everything, and
the match was awesome. I just don't like the way it ended.
That's the theme of Battleground.
Yeah.
13 suplexes later. Let's talk about
who interrupted that match.
What do you mean?
Which match?
The main event at Battleground.
Undertaker.
Exactly, and who is the Undertaker?
The Phenom.
Greatest of all time.
Okay, so who?
Well, not the greatest of all time.
I think
you have the Undertaker there, okay, with this dark character. So who's going to stay in the ring or around the ring when the Undertaker's there?
Nobody.
Exactly, just Brock Lesnar. The ref is going to leave. He's not
The commentator's like, I'm on it. No, that was Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, that was Monday Night Raw. Think about it. The refs, they left. Seth Rollins, he definitely.
What the hell did he just disappeared?
Exactly, because it's the Undertaker. If you look at the history of the Undertaker, nobody stays in the ring when he comes out. Like when I was a little kid, when the lights would turn off, I would get all scary a bit and stuff. The Undertaker or whatever, but nobody stays there because Undertaker has attacked referees before and stuff. So I feel like they ended that well, and they gave us that shock factor because we were still waiting. Like, are you serious?
Hey, guys, have you ever seen Seth Rollins and Undertaker in the ring at the same time?
No.
I'm just saying.
Screw you.
I'm just saying.
That is a good question.
But yeah, that was a funky ending.
They ended it like a Monday Night Raw.
But look, Monday Night Raw, it paid off.
Oh yeah,
it paid off definitely. Yeah,
that was amazing. You cannot tell me that was
seen this since like the Attitude Era / the beginning of the PG era.
That gave you that. All right, remember how you felt when Undertaker lost his streak to Brock Lesnar?
I was pissed.
Like, you're quiet for a while.
I was pissed.
But that's how Raw was. Like, you're like, are you serious? This is really happening.
Okay, I thought the one stupid spot in that, you have when the security first comes out to break it up, they all go after Undertaker and you put one guy on Brock Lesnar.
Okay, so I want to talk about that for a little bit. Someone mentioned this on World Wrestling Talk podcast, how Kevin Owens and Rusev were there and they were like backstage. Like they weren't being treated as main event stars. They were just like, anyone come back here. So do you think Cena killed that? Now they're just anybody?
No, they were kind of needed because you still need some type of powerhouse to.
I mean, but not even back in the day, like Stone Cold or Rock would never come out.
That's Stone Cold.
Well, you
Rock.
didn't see Cena
Rusev and Kevin Owens haven't earned the right to be in the same category as Stone Cold and Rock.
That's true, but I would have not have Kevin Owens come out. I wouldn't have Kevin Owens come out.
No, I was just gonna say they're still working their way up to that.
Now, what I don't like is I hate when WWE does this. When I say somebody dies or whatever, they bring out the whole roster. Stop. You are a wrestling show. It's retarded when you have all these superstars standing next to each other, and then next thing you know, they're all pissed off from last week for a fight. Like this, you just lost.
I like that.
That's kayfabe. No, they just screwed up. You just screwed that up.
Yeah, but wrestlers, Dusty Rhodes deserve that.
Yeah, he deserved. You can still do the bell salute, but have them show cameras in different locker rooms or something. Don't have them all out at the same time, because when you have say somebody watching wrestling for the first time, they see that and then they see them in the ring next. I'm like, what the heck is this? Because
here's the thing, though. We all know that it's acting, and what matters
to a certain degree.
To a certain degree, yes. Yeah, Ryback putting CM Punk through that table was real.
But people don't treat wrestling like that. They don't treat it like a movie.
Here's the thing. When somebody dies, I don't care about what the acting is. You're going to pay tribute and respect to that guy. And if having them all out there, like they're at the flagpole doing a 21 gun salute, having them all out there is the way you show respect to that person who's put their life into this industry, then that's what you do.
Okay, all right, I'll agree with that. But when you have Brock Lesnar and Undertaker fighting, why would you bring out the heels and the baby faces to stop them? I was waiting for Kevin Owens to hit somebody, so
Yeah, I thought that was
going to hit or something like that. They should have did that or something. You don't have them out there trying to stop these two and then they're not.
That's a good assumption. Now, that is very. I was going to ask you a question. Now, who is the heel? Did Undertaker come back as a heel? Because the way he came back, that is heel.
Yeah,
he just totally heel. He low blowed him. He kicked him. He stopped the match. He ruined the match. And if you guys noticed, the heels of WWE went over to Undertaker, and all the baby faces went over to Brock Lesnar. Kevin Owens and everyone was at Undertaker, and everyone else was at Dolph Ziggler was at.
Yeah, but they used to have like Darren Young going after. Oh no, actually,
that's what I'm saying. Who is the heel?
I think Taker, because when WWE reposted it, everybody's like, "This old guy's bad. This old guy." I'm like, "Are you serious?" So you were pissed off that Taker lost at WrestleMania to Brock Lesnar. Now you're mad that Taker, ruined the title match.
Because Brock is a babyface now.
Yeah,
they only want to see him that one time.
They wanted Brock to win that title.
Yep.
But before, people were pissed off that he had the title.
And we should thank CM Punk for that.
CM Punk.
You know why? Because he was a heel, and he was a good guy heel.
Yeah, CM Punk offset the
like
balance.
An anti-hero.
Yeah.
He was the Punisher. It's something like Randy Orton tried to do. They tried to do.
Hell no, he can't pull it off.
But then CM Punk just destroyed it.
Yep.
He made us sit down. I remember, Jason, you took me to my first live wrestling event here in Houston. It was when Cody Rhodes was wearing a bag on his face. Putting paper bags on everyone's face. I remember Cody Rhodes was being a bad guy at that event, but we were cheering him. And that
because you're an adult male.
I don't remember.
Adult males cheer.
I'm a Cena fan, remember?
Yeah, you're still a Cena fan. You get it correct sometimes.
I'm a guy. I root for the good guy because I like to see the good. I mean, that's who I am.
I'm the heel.
Yeah, that's fine. You're a jerk, but no.
So if John Cena was a heel, you'll still root for him?
Yeah, I'd still root for John Cena because I'm a John Cena fan. But
what if they did something like, all right, there's some kid or something coming up for a Make-A-Wish thing?
That'd be WWE's fault.
John Cena just slapped it out of his hand or something like that.
That would make headlines like a motherfucker.
It's like that time. It's like that time they had Shawn Michaels Sweet Chin Music with that little girl. And all you see is the salad flying in the air. That was hilarious.
Whenever he had that job at the cafeteria.
Yes.
But, okay, so you guys think that The Undertaker is the heel?
No, I think Lesnar's the heel.
No, I think Taker is the heel. Because he's been a face for like too long. He needs to be a heel. And he should go out as a heel. If he goes out as a heel,
he came in as a heel, he go out as a heel.
Well, the reasoning is, it goes back to his reasoning for being here. I'm not doing this because I don't like you for losing. Because I lost, I still respect you. I'm doing it because you didn't shut up. That's face.
I don't buy that because he shut up like in January.
But he started talking. They had him start talking.
He could have still beat up Lesnar outside the title match.
But we all know why Undertaker's back.
Because they didn't know how to end.
No.
They want to get more people to get SummerSlam. So get SummerSlam, you gotta get the network.
That's true, but that's not why he's back.
Why is he back?
I mean, come on, guys. The Sting versus Undertaker match at WrestleMania.
Vince is
Vince doesn't want it, but you know Vince, if it brings in money, he doesn't give a damn.
That's not gonna happen until around like Survivor Series or a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, they're just like spreading the seeds. They're just like planting them
you gotta think about Kane as well.
Look what happened to The Rock at HHH at WrestleMania. That was a seed plant right there.
I feel like Sting and Taker should have wrestled at this year's Mania and then have Kane and Taker wrestle at next year's Mania.
Kane?
Because he can retire to Taker and
he's one of the motherfuckers that I want to fire.
I think that should happen at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Kane and Taker at Survivor.
In a casket match.
When has Survivor Series mattered in the past couple of years?
It was actually last year
Roman dominated.
It was epic because Sting made his debut.
Okay, here's the thing.
That was Survivor Series?
Yeah.
I thought that was
it was Survivor Series when Triple H was in the ring
but he
and
said
Sting came
Roman.
out.
That's what threw me off. That was Ziggler.
That year Ziggler did it. The year before Roman did it. Survivor Series I view as a big stepping stone. Because it's when you give that one. Now, the past couple of years, it's been when they give that guy that time to shine.
Yeah.
But Vince doesn't like Survivor Series. The traditional Survivor Series match is dead, essentially. Especially since brand extension ended. And even when they decided to make that pay-per-view bragging rights.
It's still one of the top 4. You got WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam.
Only by history. Only by tradition. I think TLC or Money in the Bank could take its place as
no way. It still already has the great storylines.
Yep.
Look at the Royal Rumble, the surprises that they had.
Royal Rumble is special because of the event. That's the thing.
But look, SummerSlam last year. Then you still have Survivor Series last year. Sting making that debut made Survivor Series worth watching.
Here's the thing, though. There's nothing at Survivor Series that makes people want to watch it except for the fact that it's on the calendar and they say, oh, this is the big one. Let's make it big. It's not like WrestleMania where it's WrestleMania. It's not like Royal Rumble where you have the Royal Rumble match. It's not like SummerSlam because the summer's always the hot time. It's Survivor Series because they say, oh, well, Survivor Series has been our top in the past. That's why we're going to keep doing it.
I feel like whatever happens at SummerSlam or Survivor Series is a seed plant for what's to take place at WrestleMania.
Definitely. But either way, we're going to wrap up. If you like what you heard or if you want to contribute to the conversation, then go on, post in the comments. Of course, below you're going to have links to the things we've talked about, the Power Rankings, the World Wrestling Talk group, the World Wrestling Talk podcast, Comic Cave podcast, the last episode, and as well as the other podcasts, Emissions, Game Grok, things like that are under the Podnation label. So go ahead and like those podcasts, like Podnation, tell somebody about what we do. We're here to bring you guys entertainment from a different variety of sources and a different variety of genres. So for the crew here at the World Wrestling Talk podcast,